Welcome to Spooky Saturdays. I am your hostess, the Reading Dragon. Tonight, I have another short story submitted to me by the friend at my current muggle job, who still wishes to remain anonymous. This is also an untitled tale about a personal experience he had with something so sinister that it forced his entire family from 2 homes. When I was a kid, I remember a series of events that always thoroughly freaked me out. When I was 8 years old, it started. See, I was the youngest child in a family of 5. I had my parents, a brother who was 10 years older than me, and a sister who was 8 years older than me. Whenever my parents went out, my brother usually left to do his own thing, so it was always me and my sister hanging out at home. We lived in an apartment complex in Colorado at the time. So, one night, my parents and brother left, so once again my sister and I were sitting down watching a movie. I was getting into it because it was the first scary movie I ever got to watch, because my mom was always sheltering me. The movie was called Watcher in the Woods. As we were watching, I hear a psst right next to my ear. I turn to look and find my sister looking at me kind of funny. "What?" she asked me. "That wasn't me. I thought it was you." She got a look on her face as if she didn't believe me. And while we were having a stare down, we heard it again. Psst. It was coming from behind the couch. Since we were watching each other as it happened, we realized that neither of us was actually making the sound, which made things really freaky. See, the living room is where everything in the house connects. The front and back doors of the house both go into the living room, so since nobody came in, we were the only ones there. My sister, being braver than me at the time, insisted that we pull the couch away from the wall and look. I reluctantly did so, and as we grabbed the couch ready to pull, we heard a raspy whisper. "Psst, don't." I stepped back from the couch instinctively and looked to my sister, who looked very uneasy. Then, out of nowhere, she grabbed the couch and yanked as hard as she could, pulling her end away from the wall. Was my end still pressed against the wall? I couldn't see what was there, but I could see my sister, who had gone completely pale and left the couch where it was, stepping back slowly and staring as if unable to comprehend what she was seeing. I knew better. I really did. I knew that whatever could make my unshakable older sister react that way had to be scary. I knew better than to look, but I did it anyway. I skirted around the couch until I was standing next to her, looking behind the couch. I really knew better than to look, and at that point, I wished I hadn't. It was her cat. Dead. Missing its tail. I turned to look at my sister, and at the same time, I saw her look at me. We were both in shock. before the reality of the situation hit her and she screamed. The upstairs neighbor, who was loyal to a fault but always on the wrong side of the law, came barging in, pistol in hand. He saw us, took a look behind the couch, and even though he hated them, he called the police. The police found nothing. Nobody could figure out what had happened. The missing tail of the cat stayed missing. My parents were hysterical and we moved out of there immediately. We moved to Idaho, and 2 months passed. Things settled down a bit, and my parents were once again going to have a night out. That left my sister, my brother, and me at home. We were attempting to watch that movie, Watcher in the Woods, again. My brother was in the recliner, while me and my sister were on the couch. In the middle of the movie, we heard it. Psst. My sister and I freaked out. We jumped to the other side of the room, hugging each other. My brother looked confused and looked to the couch where the sound had come from. Psst. We heard again coming from the couch. My brother asked us what it was, and my sister just said, "The voice from that night!" He nodded and went to the couch, pulling it away, even though we heard the same "psst, don't" as last time. Again, I knew better. I knew better than to look, but my curiosity as a kid was unquenchable. I looked. It was a tail. The tail that belonged to my sister's cat. That was behind the other couch 2 months ago. We all freaked. My parents, once again, relocated the family, though not as far. We moved from one city in Idaho to another city. As we were getting settled in, the whole family, all 5 of us, decided to have a family night. We were all in the living room together watching a movie. For once, it wasn't Watcher in the Woods, because neither me nor my sister were able to stomach the thought of trying to watch it again. Just as the movie ended and credits were rolling, we heard it. Psst. My parents looked at us to see if we were playing a trick. We weren't. Psst. They looked behind them, at the spot that the voice was coming from. Not a word was said as my parents stood, grabbed us, and calmly walked out of the house. We never went back. And it's been 14 years since then. And we haven't experienced anything remotely similar. I never bothered learning what was behind the couch at the time. And frankly, I don't want to know. Thank you for listening to my narration of these stories. If you liked my telling and you want to hear more, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell, and follow me on Twitter at The Reading Dragon. Link to my Twitter is always in the description, so that you can follow me and be notified as to when I have a new story to tell. Thank you again for listening to The Reading Dragon.